It is so easy to get excited about a brand new move, especially if you're moving here from a different state. Having been able to help countless clients move to Santa Rosa and the Sonoma County area, I have learned so many things along the way. This video is all about what you need to avoid when moving to Santa Rosa or the Sonoma County area. I'm going to be telling you what to avoid, how to avoid it, and what you should do in order to prepare to move to the area. What's up, guys? My name is Danny M. Cronin. I'm a real estate agent right here in Santa Rosa. And if this is your very first time to my channel, welcome, and please consider hitting the subscribe button. I drop a video once a week, every single week, all having to do with living in Sonoma County. So if you are interested in learning more about the area, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you are notified next time I drop a video. And of course, I am a real estate agent full-time. So if you guys have any real estate related questions at all, please feel free to reach out. All my contact information is down below. Call me, text me, email me, whatever is most convenient for you. And with that being said, let's get into the video. All right, we're starting the list off with a really good one. This is something that happens all the time. The first thing you absolutely need to avoid is do not plan a 2-day trip here over a weekend and think you are going to find the home for you. I know it's so easy to do a ton of research online and then just say to yourself, so you know what, I want to go up there for the weekend, spend the weekend, and see if we can find the home we like. This actually can hinder your view on Santa Rosa. Let me give you an example. I have had countless clients come up here over the weekend. They'll call me the week before, say, Danny, we're going to come up over the weekend. We're going to look for a house. We're ready to buy. Everything is good. They get here. They then realize they don't even like that area at all. That their area that they were researching, they're not a big fan of it. They don't like the traffic. They don't like the this, the that, whatever the case is. And it actually will leave a bad taste in their mouth for the entire city of Santa Rosa. What you should do on the flip side is spend time researching. You are going to hear me say this often in the video. Your number one friend in the process of relocating to Santa Rosa, Sonoma County, a different area altogether, do your research. There are so many things you can look at online nowadays. It makes it very, very easy. If you have questions about safety, if you have questions about how big the city is, if you have a question about the growth, what's coming to the city, what's leaving, all of these things are available online. And I tell my clients this all the time. So the thing you should do before you come up here for a weekend, stay home, spend some time researching, reach out to me, let's have a conversation. Let me understand what exactly it is you're looking for. And if you have some areas picked out, great. If not, that's okay too. If you have 3 that you absolutely love and want to know more information about, I will take that into consideration. We will go view those neighborhoods, and then I will also bring a couple neighborhoods that are similar to your attention so that we can view those neighborhoods at a later date or when it is that you come up. But do your research. Don't plan 2 days here and expect to fall in love with the home over the weekend. It's just simply not the case for many different people, especially right now in the market. Inventory is extremely limited. So depending on your price range, you may not see a whole lot of options where you are. Especially if you're in the $500,000 to $700,000 range, there's really not a whole lot out there right now. But if you're in the million and above range, there are some few options. So these are just things to consider. So get a game plan together with me. Plan a trip after you've done a significant amount of research and come here and expect to stay no less than 3 days. 3 is really kind of the threshold when it comes to truly being able to understand an area. You can pretty much, for the most part, drive every single neighborhood in Santa Rosa in 3 days. So plan 3 to 5 day trip here. Let's have a game plan. Let's have some neighborhoods on the map we want to check out, and let's see if we can find you the home. Number 2 on the list, do not rent a home thinking it will help you understand the area. I have people reach out all the time. Danny, I'm being transferred here for a job relocation. I want to purchase a home, but I don't think it's quite in the cards yet. I'm going to rent for just a couple of months so I can understand the area a little bit more before I commit to buying a home. This is a terrible idea for the vast majority of people. I cannot tell you how many people tell me this. They end up moving here, they rent, and then they just get comfortable being in a rental. For obviously certain people, maybe you're just on a job assignment here for a year to 3 years max and you don't know where you're going to end up, obviously renting makes sense. But if you are being relocated here from a job and you cannot work remotely, you absolutely have to be on site, renting for the majority of people does not make sense, and I'll tell you why. The average rent right now in Santa Rosa for a single family home is $2,500 a month. Let's say you find a rental, and one thing I didn't mention is a lot of landlords will not allow a month-to-month lease. A lot of landlords nowadays want to lock you into minimum 1-year lease, if not longer, if they can. So now you have committed to a rental for 1 year, spending $2,500 a month, and that money adds up to $30,000 a year. I had to do some quick math in my head there. I hope that's right. I think it is. $30,000 a year that you just wasted. You threw in the air. Obviously, it provided you shelter and housing, but that money could easily have been saved if you stayed where you were, and then you can then put that money for a down payment on a home. And obviously, people's motivation levels fluctuate, right, when it comes to buying a home. But I've seen it countless times now where people are so excited to move here. They say, I'm going to rent. They sign a 1-year lease. They get comfortable after 3, 4, 5, 6 months. And then their buying plans just went out the window because now they have to then start all over again. They have to think about moving again. They have to think about all the costs associated with that. And it's just not on their list anymore. And they end up staying in these rentals for a long period of time. And that $30,000 quickly turns into $100,000 over the course of just a couple of years. So something to consider. I think a solution to this problem and how to actually avoid it is really sit back and ask yourself why you want to make a move. I really think people don't quite understand when they reach out. Let's say someone's relocating here from Seattle and they just fell in love with the idea of moving to Santa Rosa overnight, and all of a sudden they're excited about it. They're making things happen. They're reaching out. They're researching homes. They're looking at market data and all of these sort of things. I don't think moving to a brand new area makes sense for a lot of people depending on their circumstances. So what I would do is I would really sit back, and before I committed to buying a home here, renting a home here, whatever the case is, sit back and ask yourself, what would my life be like if I just stayed where I was? Is there something pulling me to a new area? Obviously, you have to make some adjustments there. But if there's not, and you just want to move here because it sounds nice, we have beautiful redwood trees, there's tons of things to do, it's a nice city, then before you sign up for this 2-year-long lease, I would really ask yourself, why do I want to move to Santa Rosa? And should I just stay where I am? What is my life going to look like if I stay where I am? Is it feasible? Is it possible? So those are some solutions there before you get into this lease, before you start asking any questions at all. Really reflect on the idea of relocating and see if it really is a fit for you. Number 3 on the list, and this one happens all the time, and I totally understand because it's so easy to do it. A lot of people don't like reaching out to me before they end up coming here, and they want to just kind of show up and give me a call the day they're here, and they want to go look at some homes right away, which I completely understand. You're in a brand new area. You just, you drove here overnight, whatever the case is. You woke up early in the morning. It's Saturday. There's a ton of open houses. But number 3 on the list is do not tour any homes with agents you do not plan to use. And I will dive into this a little bit deeper. Recently, the California Association of Realtors settled a lawsuit where it changes the way we do business. Now, if we want to go show a home to a new client, we then have to have a signed agreement with that client stating they will be using us for the purchase of a home in the specified time limits, in the specified areas. It gets pretty specific on these contracts. So if you're someone who just showed up here and you want to go take a look at some homes, you're probably going to get a lot of hard no's from agents unless you are willing to commit to someone. Now, I never, ever, ever ask anybody to commit to me as their agent until I have understood your story, because I don't even know if I can really help people purchase a home if I don't know exactly what it is they're looking for and what they're looking to achieve when moving here. So you're going to get a lot of pushbacks. If you see some open houses, the first thing you're going to get hit with when you walk in the door is, do you have a real estate agent? If that answer is no, they are then going to try and have you commit to working with them as an agent. If the answer is yes, you're pretty much going to get the cold shoulder during the open house. So keep that in mind. A way to rectify this situation is reach out to me early on. I have so many clients that are, 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road before they're able to make a purchase or before they want to purchase. And I'm totally fine with that. I love reaching out to new people, having people reach out to me, especially when they're in different areas. Everyone has different scenarios, what's dragging them here, so on and so forth. So how to avoid this is reach out to an agent. If it's not me, that's totally fine. Reach out to another agent, reach out to me, put a game plan together in place. That way, when you do actually get here in Santa Rosa or whatever city you're looking at, we can start to go after our game plan and get whatever it is you are looking for. So reach out early on to an agent, get a game plan established so that when you get here, you know exactly what you're doing, the homes you're going to be going to, the neighborhoods you're going to be visiting, what neighborhoods you're going to be driving around in, so on and so forth. And number 4 on the list, this is a big one for me because this is something I just went through with some clients relocating here from Southern California. And this only applies to people who are having to sell a home before they purchase a home. And the big thing there is just communication. But, the do not and the thing to avoid here is do not accept any new terms the buyer of your property presents to you without consulting to the agent you're working with here in Santa Rosa. Why is this such a big deal? It shouldn't be that big of a deal, but it is, and I will tell you why. So when you are selling a home and purchasing another home, my plan as a real estate agent and your real estate agent is to line up everything so it is very seamless, because when we have 2 separate escrows going on, things can get very complicated. And what my overall plan is to do is to line up your closing wherever you are. Let's say Southern California. Let's say we want to close you on the 3rd and we want you guys to close your house up here on the 4th, at least, or if not the very same day. And why that's so important is, let's say you close on a house wherever you are and you have plans on moving into your home here. If something gets held up with your escrow, or like I said in the beginning of the video, if all of a sudden you were scheduled to close on the 4th and now you're closing on the 2nd, but your closing in Santa Rosa is still on the 4th, then you're going to have to stay in a hotel for a couple of days. And I know, things in transactions happen, but it's my job to mitigate that as well as I can. So that's why, there were some red flags in this last transaction I did. The seller's agent, my client's buying up here, ended up accepting new terms, which then made us rush on our side to get to the closing table as quick as we could. So our clients, because they had moving trucks ready, they had all of their furniture packed up and everything ready to go. So I didn't want to have our clients stay in a hotel for a couple of nights because this thing was just all of a sudden so rushed, and we had to do everything we could to close our deal. So the thing to learn here, and I will ramble on and on about this, so I gotta shut myself down here. The thing to learn here is, if you're selling a home, the agent you're working with here and the agent you're working with to sell your home, they should be working together very closely. And do not accept any new terms the buyer gives you without consulting with the agent you're working with here, just so everyone's on the same page and the game plan doesn't go haywire because some things change along the way. Number 5 on the list, and I have so many horror stories about this, but it is, do not hire the cheapest moving company. I know this is something that, this is an area in a real estate transaction where people try to squeeze every penny, because obviously selling a home, buying a home, it's expensive at the end of the day, right? So when it comes to these little things here, everyone tries to save a couple bucks, and it is just not worth it. I have seen some bad things when it comes to moving companies, showing up here early, showing up here late, items in the truck being tipped over, and then they get to the home, things are broken, and the movers don't necessarily want to listen to what you have to say when it comes to where the furniture goes. They basically just want to drop everything in the garage, and now it's on you. So when it comes to hiring a moving company, I know saving money is so important, but you have to think, this is a big step, right? You have just purchased a brand new home. You've been stressed out the entire time because real estate is just stressful, let alone if you're selling a home and buying. And now you have to deal with a moving company that just does not want to cooperate with your needs. So, do your best, save some money, but have a clear understanding of what the moving company is going to do for you and what they're not going to do, because it's so expensive. The last thing you want to deal with when it comes to finally being able to move into your home is realizing that the moving company is not going to help you. They basically just dumped everything off on the step, and now it's all up to you. So huge. It's so important to, try to save some money, but have a clear understanding of what it is exactly that moving company is going to do for you. If you guys are enjoying this video so far, please do me a huge favor. Hit the subscribe button so you're notified next time I drop a video. I drop a video each and every single week, all having to do with living in Sonoma County. And if you guys have questions about purchasing real estate in the Santa Rosa and Sonoma County area, all my contact information is down below. Call me, text me, email me, whatever is most convenient for you. And the first step I do whenever anybody first reaches out is I set up a quick 30-minute Zoom call so I can understand what it is you're looking for, so I can provide solutions and answers to your needs. So if you're interested in that, please send me an email. Again, contact info is right here. Call, text, email, and let's get back to the video. Number 6 on the list, my last thing to say here on what to avoid when moving to Santa Rosa. I hate making such a negative video, but you know what? I've seen so many mistakes happen along the way. So it's my job to give you value when it comes to relocating to the Santa Rosa area. And this is just one of the ways I have to do it. Unfortunately, I got to talk about some bad stuff. So number 6 on the list is do not use your contacts in your hometown when it comes to moving to Santa Rosa. People all the time will tell me this. They'll reach out, they want to buy a home. I'll ask if they're pre-approved or if they have to get a loan. They say, yes, we have a lender. Or when it comes to title, we have a preferred escrow officer. We have a preferred title company, whatever the case is. There are so many nuances to a real estate transaction, and things vary, county to county and just city to city, just to be honest, let alone state to state. So if you're moving here from a different state, things are different here. Like in, for example, Southern California, when it comes to escrow fees, buyer and seller both have separate escrow fees that usually, I think, the seller ends up paying for. Here in Santa Rosa in Sonoma County, it's different. The buyer pays closing costs. That's just the way it is. That's the way we operate. So if we get an escrow company or let's say a lender that's just not familiar with these rules, it can throw a bit of a curveball in the transaction and possibly delay the closing or not allow it to close at all. So it's so important when moving here, reach out to a trusted real estate agent, and really they are your voice when it comes to the real estate transaction. So listen to them, trust whatever it is that they are saying, and use the people that they are recommending, because it is so, so, so important. I've seen so many deals blow up over the years. One that comes to the top of my head right now is a lender from a different state. My clients use them. They wanted to use them. I fought them every step of the way, but they said no, and they were still wanting to use them. And we ended up having to close a day late simply because that lender could not get the proper documentation up to the title office here in Santa Rosa because of business hours or whatever the case was. But it actually delayed closing for a whole day, so my clients had to find a place to hang out for the night before they can move into their home. So it's so important if you are moving up here. And not only that for the sake of the transaction, but also let's say you guys find a home you are looking, you like, and you want to write an offer on. We write the offer up. I use your lender in Utah or wherever you're from. The listing agent is going to see that we are using an out-of-area lender, and a lot of agents will call and ask questions to try to understand why we're using someone from out of the area. Closing company, it's going to be the same way. The listing agents will push back, and it will make your offer not stand out as much. And let's say there's 2 or 3 offers on the table for this one house. We're using some person out of the area. The listing agent is more than likely going to accept an offer from a different agent that's using local companies. So I know it sounds crazy, but it happens all the time. That's just what happens here in Sonoma County. Agents want to make sure deals operate smoothly and everything goes according to plan. So Something to consider if you're moving here, use local people. And of course, any good real estate agent is going to have their list of lenders, their list of title companies, contractors, so on and so forth. So that is my list of 6 things to avoid when moving to Santa Rosa. I sound a little long-winded, and I apologize for that, but there are so many mistakes I've seen over the years that ended up costing people so much money, unnecessary money, or delaying closing because of some simple, silly thing over here that should have been addressed early on in the transaction. But it was just a ball dropped because, you know, unfortunately, that's just the way things go. So it's my job to give you value and help you understand a little bit more about the buying process before you commit yourself to purchasing a home. So that's going to wrap this one up, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And of course, if you have any real estate related questions at all, please do me a huge favor. Call me, text me, email me, whatever's convenient for you. And make sure you hit the subscribe button so you're notified next time I drop a video, and we will see you on the next one.